Ew. Need to like rev myself up for this video. My energy needs to be on point. Ew, I just spat. That hurt. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Chloe, nice to meet you. Welcome back to my show, welcome back to my crisis life. Today I am coming to you live with another story time video straight from the comfort of my own bedroom. Hi. I'm so excited for this channel. I've said it a million trillion times, but I am so excited for this channel. I'm really passionate about YouTube, about making videos, about creating shit. I'm a creative individual. If I'm good at anything in life, it is creative shit. I am not logically minded at all. I'm not common sense minded at all. I can't even speak properly. Clearly I'm illiterate. I know a lot of you guys wanted to hear more story times from me, the 5 people that watch my videos. I kid you not, I have a list, notes of my phone, of a ton of story times from my program. So yeah, welcome back to my show, and boy do I have a story time for you. So today's story is going to be the story of how I got kicked out of work for having pink eye. Allegedly, supposedly, didn't have pink eye. So this story honestly still makes me frustrated, and as much as it makes me frustrated, it's also just like funny that happened to me. Of course this happens to me because all the fucking shit happens to me because I'm just a dumbass and a big idiot. As you guys probably know, I participated in the Disney College program from January till September of this year. I can't shut up about it. It was the best decision I've ever made. I'm still making videos about it. It's really sad that I'm not there anymore, but no one cares. But now, a few months into my program, I remember it vividly because I still had my long hair. So this was like right at the beginning of the program. On my first work location, I was sent home from work because I allegedly had pink eye. So to start this story off, I have never had pink eye in my life before.
It's not something I've experienced.
A lot of people do get it. All I know about it is that it's something that you can contract from other people. It's very contagious. It comes from like coming into contact with fecal matter and putting it into your eyes. I'm no doctor, clearly. That's all I knew about pink eye before this all occurred. So I was just living my day-to-day life, minding my own goddamn business. One morning I wake up and my eye is really itchy. So I just assumed that this was from not wiping off my mascara because I'm a dumb bitch and I do that all the time. Wipe your makeup off before you go to bed. Tips from me. But that's just what I assumed that it was. That happened to me all the time.
I would wake up, I would have makeup and gunk in my eyes and it would be itchy.
I just assumed that that's all it was. So I just continued living my best life. I continued going to work, didn't really think much of it. Over the course of like a week, the inner corner of my left eye started to get pinker and pinker each day, and it started to become really itchy. It just was progressively getting worse as the days went on, and I just assumed that it was probably a burst blood vessel. I'd seen that happen to people before, and I was just waiting for it to go away because I'm a lazy bitch and I don't want to go to the doctors.
So I was just like living my life with this like pink eye.
It wasn't even the whole eye, it was literally just a line of pink from the inner corner to the pupil. Like that's all it was. I was like, I'm just gonna wait and hopefully it's just going to poof, disappear. Not the case.
So over a course of like 2 weeks, it just progressively got worse. Every day I would wake up, it would be so itchy.
I would be rubbing my eye vigorously so much.
It was getting more pink, it was getting more inflamed, larger, covering more of my eyeball. But it wasn't on this side, it was only on this side. So it was just getting like growing and getting pinker and pinker and pinker.
I was starting to get a bit worried because it wasn't looking like it was going away. So one morning I go to the pharmacy, Walgreens. If you're American, you know what that is. So I go to Walgreens with my roommates so that I can hopefully get some eye drops because I didn't want to go to the doctor for this. From the beginning, I'd never wanted to go to the doctor over something like an inflamed eye because American healthcare is fucking shit.
So
I wanted to not go to the doctors as much as I possibly could. And I was like, oh, I'll just go to the pharmacy. They'll probably be able to give me some eye drops and it'll go away in like 2 days. It'll be fine. So me and my roommates go down to Walgreens and we walk in. I go over to the pharmacist. I explain to him what's happening. I say, look, my eye's getting pinker and pinker every day. It's really itchy. I thought it would go away on its own, but it's been like this for 2 weeks. Help me. And the pharmacist was shit. He basically was like, I can't talk to you. I can't prescribe you anything. You need to go to a real doctor. All you can do is go down this aisle and there's some pink eye drops that you might want to try. But I don't even know if it's pink eye.
So
I buy these eye drops because I'm like, well, there's nothing else I can do. I may as well try it. And I go home and I squirt these eye drops in my eyes and it does nothing. I wake up the next day and I'm pretty sure it got worse. So these eye drops clearly weren't helping. I thought at first like
Maybe I'll just like give it a day or two. Maybe you need to do like a few applications before it kicks in.
nope, was not working. So I was like,
Shit.
what do I do? I'm gonna have to go to the doctors about this soon. But I had like no money. I don't have money to go to the doctors, you know, like I did, but I was like, ugh, I don't want to pay to go to the doctors. So I'm just gonna leave it a few days and see if it goes away on its own again. So I'd had this red eye for like 2 weeks now, and I rocked up to work one day. I was sitting in this closet room. This man who I
despise, who I do not like,
who I had to work with and was just, I could make a whole other video on this guy. Like I was sitting in this closet and he comes in because he's pushing my rotation through. He's taking over my position and he notices that my eye is red and inflamed and he's like,
Oh my god, sweetheart, what's wrong with your eye?
I'm like, first of all, don't call me sweetheart. Okay? Okay. Second of all, none of your business. But third of all, I was kind of like at my wit's end with my eye and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sick of this. Out of options apart from going to the doctor, which I didn't want to do because I had no money. I don't know what to do. He was like, oh, I've got eye drops in my pocket, and he pulls out eye drops out of his pocket. I was like, okay, great. And he's like, yeah, they're for dry eyes, they're for irritated eyes. Here, do you want to borrow some? I can put some in your eyeball. Look, I was desperate. Don't even ask me why I would ever let a creepy old man who I don't like put eye drops into my eyeball. I'm just a dumb bitch. That's my explanation for everything in life. It's just I'm a really dumb bitch. Anyway, I was like, okay. Sure, squirt some liquid into my eyeball. Like, that's what she said. So I tilt my head back and he squirts them into my eye. He squirts a lot too. He's doing like 5 drops. I was like, are you right? Like, is that, I think that's enough. Like when? A few hours later, I walk into the break room and everyone in there is like,
Oh my god, Chloe, your eye is so bad. Like, so bad. It's the worst I've ever seen it be.
so I walk over to the mirror. I look at it. Holy shit. It is fully now covering a whole light part of my eye on the inner corner. Like the whole thing is covered, not just a line. It's not a fat line. It's covering the whole front half of this white iris. And it's red. It's so red. I'm like, oh my god, Chloe, what are you doing? Stop taking eye drops from random guys. So anyway, I'm looking at my eye in the mirror, freaking the fuck out. I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore. I think I need to go to the doctor. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god.
So I am like, okay, I'll just give it the night. I'll let it settle down. I'll go and wash it with water. I'll see what happens. I'll give it the night.
So I come back to work the next day. It's still pretty red. It's not as bad as it was the night before, but it's still pretty red and inflamed and it's not going away. I'm in this position with this girl and I'm talking to her about it. She's like, do you know what's wrong with it? I was like, no, I think it's just irritated. Like, I've tried eye drops. They're not working, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, you might have pink eye. I was like, I don't know. I hope not, blah.
Literally the same day, I go into the break room. I pull a task and it's like, go and meet with the leader until such and such time. I'm like, oh my god, what now? Every time I would pull a task to meet with a leader, I knew it was some bad shit. What am I getting in trouble for today? Like, ugh. I just knew that I was in shit. So I walk over to the leader's office.
freaking the fuck out.
And I go up into this room and I sit down and it's the leader that I really don't like again. Every time something bad happened, I would just have this leader. Like, congratulations, you might have pink eye, and it's with the leader that you hate the most. I sit down with her and she's basically like,
look, we've noticed that your eye is getting really, really red. It looks really irritated. And we've actually had some complaints from some other cast members about it, worried that you might have pink eye.
I don't understand why people feel the need to complain to leadership about the smallest things straight away. Like, can't you just live your own life and just not worry about what other people are doing with their own eyes and their own body? I get the pink eye is obviously really fucking contagious, and like, so she's asking me a few questions and she's like, have you been to the doctor? I said, no, I haven't. I don't really know what it is. It just seems really irritated and itchy. She basically just diagnoses me with pink eye. She's like,
yeah, you've got pink eye.
my daughter's had it, my son's had it, like I've had it once. It looks to me like you have pink eye. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you were also a doctor. Like, I'm shocked. Congratulations on your medical degree. Like, wow. Great work. Excuse the fuck out of me because I didn't realize that you had 2 degrees. Didn't know that you could be, one, a doctor and also a Disney leader. But there you go. People are changing careers left, right, and center these days. Like, congratulations to you. So she diagnoses me with pink eye. She has no idea what she's talking about. Just because her daughter's had pink eye before does not mean that you can tell someone else that they have pink eye. But in that moment, I was just so like done with my eye. I was like, I don't know what's happening. It's not going away. I was like, I must have pink eye. Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. She's telling me I have pink eye, and I'm believing it. And by the way, at the very same time that this is all happening, another one of my friends that I worked with, a CP on the program, let's call her Anna. So Anna was in the hospital. She actually had to go to the emergency department because she had something wrong with her eye. And everyone had been talking about that week and saying that she had pink eye. Now, she didn't actually have pink eye. There's that. I can pull up the messages on my phone actually and read what she told me. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, I think I might have pink eye too. How's it all going? Like, that kind of thing. And she messaged me and she says, hey Chloe, so I actually have a really bad bacterial infection. So she doesn't even have pink eye.
At the time that I was meeting with this leader, I didn't even know that yet. I just had assumed that she had pink eye because that's what everyone was saying.
So I was like, oh shit, I probably do have it. Like, this girl's had it. I've probably contracted it at work. Like, I think I have pink eye, holy shit. So basically, I'm in this meeting with the leader. She says,
everyone at work is concerned for their health, their well-being.
Then she proceeds to say in a very passive-aggressive way, you know, we're gonna have to go down and we're gonna have to spray and wipe down all of the benches on the attraction. We're just gonna have to clean everything now. Like, you're gonna have to go to the doctor and they're gonna have to determine when you can come back to work. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was a disease that was all over this attraction. Like, geez. Like, I get having to disinfect everything because you don't want to spread anything throughout. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to go down and spray and wipe down all the benches now because of you. Thank you very much, you diseased bitch. Yeah, I was kind of like taken aback by that. I was like, wow, sorry I even exist. Sorry my bacteria is infecting your whole workplace. Jesus Christ. She basically after that is like, so you want an ER, right?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Or do I have a choice? Like, after that, she fixes the schedule and like clocks me off of my shift, gives me the address of a doctor and says, see you later, like, go home until your eye is better. What the fuck? Can I come back to work tomorrow? And she was like, the doctor will tell you when you can come back to work. Are you kicking me out of work because you've diagnosed me with pink eye? Like, what the fuck? And I leave the building, I get kicked out of work, I can't continue my shift. She gives me an ER that I didn't ask for, but I got, so like, hey, bye. Obviously, I want to try and get this done as quickly as I possibly can so that I can continue to work, because like, I'm not getting enough money. Like, hello, I need to make that coin, I need to buy my clothes, I need to go to my parks, I need to buy my margaritas. So I go home and I go online and I try to book an appointment at the closest doctor's, but it's all booked out for the night.
Like, shit, I'm gonna have to go tomorrow. So I had to call out of another day of work so that I could go to the doctors to treat this pink eye.
So I make my appointment for the next day at like 10 a.m. I gather up my documents that I think I might need. I look on my Disney Facebook page to see all the shit that I need to take to the doctors. So I take like my passport, my medical insurance forms, all of that shit, my social security card, my ID, grab all of that shit and go. Get an Uber to the doctors. It takes about 10 minutes and it costs me about like $8. I rock up to the doctor's office. I go up to the reception and the reception lady was really rude actually. I just have like no luck with people. People are just very rude all the time. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a bitch and I'm like attracting bitch energy. Probably, I don't know. And I was like, hey, I booked an appointment for today at 10 a.m. Like, here's my documents. What do I need to do? She's like, are you familiar with this process? Are you familiar with this process? I was like, I mean, I'm not from here if that's what you're asking. So like, not really, but I've got all of my documents. And she's like, yeah, well, you're actually going to need a lot more information, but you're going to have to go back to your housing. You're going to have to print out this form, this card, bring that back with you before I can even let you see a doctor. Thank you. Next in line. Oh, I was like, are you kidding me? I've just bought this Uber. I've just come all the way here. I'm going to have to go home. I'm going to have to book another appointment. So frustrated as fuck. I book an Uber home, I print all the shit that I need, I bring it with me, I make another appointment, and I rock up to the doctor's at night time. This is like 6 p.m. I bring all of my forms with me, I give it to this bitch, she says, okay, that's fine, we'll get you in as soon as we can. I sit in this waiting room for legit like an hour and a half. There was literally like maybe 5 other people in this doctor's reception area, and it took like an hour and a half. I was sitting there, my phone died. I'm complaining about everything. Finally, this doctor comes out and calls me into her office. The doctor was really, really lovely and she was really helpful. I sit on the bed and she leaves the room and she doesn't come back for like another 45 minutes. I was like, is McDreamy gonna come around a corner and like throw me on a bed and like slice me open? I don't know, I'd be down for that. So she talks to me about my eye. She asked me all the doctorly like questions. How long has it been going on for? Is it itchy? Does it cause you any pain? Can you see out of it? And if you've taken anything for it already, what you've already done.
So I tell her that I've had it for like 2 to 3 weeks. It's not going away, it's only in the one eye. It's itchy, but I can still see fine, and I've taken some eye drops from the pharmacist for pink eye. And then I tell her, look, my work's just sent me home because they think that I have pink eye. So I tell all of this to my doctor, and she's pretty much like, yeah, I don't think it's pink eye. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's not pink eye.
So she goes away, goes into another room, and she types up her little doctor's diagnosis. A few moments later, she comes back and she says, okay, come with me. We're going to do a little bit of an eye test. Takes me out into the hallway, and I get to do, for the first time in my life, one of those eye tests where you read like the letters on the board. I thought it was so cool. I was like, oh my God, I've never done one of these before. Am I blind? Who knows? She gets me to close one eye, close the other, close both and try and read it. Just kidding. So I do this eye test and she tells me, congratulations, you have 20/20 vision. Bitch, I can see. I may not be good at a lot of things in life, but one thing I can do is motherfucking see. I have 20/20 vision. All is great in the world. We go back into the doctor's office and she gives me her diagnosis. I wish I could tell you the exact name of the disease. Well, not the disease, but the infection that I had, but I cannot remember it to save my life. It either started with a K or a D. Basically, she said that it was like an allergic reaction. It was to do with like allergies and the seasons changing, and it was just basically like irritated. The gist of the whole story is that she tells me I do not have pink eye. Like, I don't have pink eye. Here is this fucking leader telling me, you have pink eye, get out of the workplace, you're infecting everyone around you, we don't want you here, bitch, go home. So I had just missed 2 days of work because this leader had misdiagnosed me with pink eye, which I didn't even have, which a doctor certified that I didn't have. Oh my God. So I get this prescription and I go home. I plans to go and pick up the prescription the next day. The doctor tells me that I'm fine to go back to work as soon as I possibly can. It's not contagious at all. So like them scrubbing all the benches, unnecessary, but I'm glad that they did because sucked in, you did that for no reason. I return to work, I go back into the break room, I pull an assignment and it's meet with a leader. What the fuck now? Like, oh my God. I go up and it's the same leader and she says, I know you called out yesterday, like you must have gone to the doctor. How did it all go? Like, what happened? And I told her, bitch, I do not have pink eye. You could just tell she was trying to like pull it together to be professional. You could tell in her eyes that she knew that she fucked up. It was kind of like, oh great, okay, cool, like you can keep working then. That's fabulous. I'm glad that your eye is better. Like thanks for letting us know. I'm glad everything's all good. So anyway, this whole story occurs. I'm frustrated. I'm bitching about it to everyone. I'm annoyed. I come back to work, everything's all good, I've got my eye drops. Everyone can move on, right? Wrong. A few weeks later, I receive a letter in the mail from the doctor's office. I open it up and it says, "Hi Chloe, you currently owe $350 for this doctor appointment." I'm sorry, what? You're telling me I owe $350 for this doctor's appointment for this pink eye that I never had in the first place because of this woman who misdiagnosed me with pink eye, who sent me home from work, who was costing me money, who is now costing me $350. Oh. So there you have it. That is the story of how I got kicked out of work for having pink eye, or supposedly having pink eye, which I didn't even have. What can I say? Like, do you expect anything less from me? Probably not. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, let me know. I will try to film as much as I can for you. I have a lot of crazy stories. Stupid shit happens to me. Dumb shit happens to me. I make dumb decisions. So hopefully me telling these stories, someone out there can get something out of these videos. Thank you for watching. As always, I love you. I appreciate you so much. If you got to the end of this video, holy shit. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening to my bullshit. Stay tuned. I don't know what else to say apart from the fact that I'm a big loser. Bye.
I woke up early in the morning just to feel the light of day.